Hello friends, welcome back to another session of Servlets. In today's class, I'm going to discuss how to create cookies and how to fetch the cookies. As we know that cookies are a small piece of information that is stored on the browser. So for multiple requests. So here what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to show you how cookies work, how to create cookies and all that. Okay, so now here this is the client and this is the server. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is at the client side I'm going to create one HTML document. So this HTML document will open on the client side, and I'm going to send some data through this HTML document to the server. Okay, right in the request parameter. And once this request reaches onto the server, so we are going to have a servlet here. Okay, so this servlet is called as add cookie servlet. I'm going to name it as add cookie servlet. And what this servlet is going to create is, it is going to create a servlet, and it will create a servlet and it will add this servlet to the response. Okay, so to the response, it will add the created cookie. Okay, so it will add the created cookie to the response, and this response will be shown to the client on the client side. Now, what we need to understand is, since we know that cookie will sustain multiple requests, so I'm going to make one more request. Okay, and this request is going to go to another servlet. Okay, and I'm going to name this servlet as get cookies servlet. So this servlet is going to fetch the cookie. Okay, so fetch the information that is there in the cookie. So this, I'm going to name this servlet as get cookies servlet, and this servlet will fetch the cookie information and it will print that again to the browser once again. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Now the first document that I'm going to create is HTML.html file, which is called, I'm going to name it as add cookie.html. And the second program document that I'm going to create is add cookie servlet.java. Okay, so I'm going to create a servlet which is called as add cookie servlet.java. And the third document that I'm going to create is get cookies servlet.java. So these are the three documents that I'm going to create. After I create these three documents, now the third step is I'm going to compile my .java files. Okay, so I'm going to compile my .java files, and so once I get, after the compilation, I'll be getting the bytecode, which is nothing but the .class files. So after this step, once I get the .class files, the next step is I'll be creating the web.xml file. So I'll be doing all the mapping and all that in the web.xml file. Once my all documents are ready, then I'll put it in the directory. Okay, so I'll create a format and I'll place all of them in the directory. And then I'll deploy it onto the Tomcat, and then I'll show you the application in execution. Okay, right. So this is what I'm going to do right now. So I hope everybody understood the problem statement. Let's get started writing the add cookie.html. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder. So this is my folder, so which is called as my cookie. So I'll name it as my cookie. Okay, fine. So once I'll dump all my documents into this particular folder, which is my cookie. So now what I'll do is I'll open the notepad. So I already have shown this login form in my earlier videos. So the same login form I have taken, wherein this login form will be will have two text fields, one for taking the username and the second one to take the password. And finally, I'll be having a submit button. Just take a look at this particular form here. So in the form tag, I have given name is equal to F1, And action, I have given the URL. So action is consisting of the URL, which is nothing but add cookie servlet.java. And then the method that I have chosen is the post method. Okay, so this is my HTML document, and let me save this in my cookie. Okay, so I have my cookie. Okay, so inside my cookie, I'm going to save it as add cookie.html. Okay, right. So after I save it, let me actually open this in the browser and show you how this cookie.html and show you in the browser how it looks. So this is how it looks. This is add cookie.html. So this is the text field to take the username and this to take the password, and then I'll be clicking on the submit button. Once you click on the submit button, so the servlets will be invoked. And let me open a new file and let us write the servlet. And I need to import the packages. So import java.io.star. So this is the first package, and then import the second package, which is javax.servlet.star. Okay, so since we are using HTTP servlet, okay, so import the package which is javax.servlet.http.star. Okay, so http.star. So so we have imported all these ones. Okay, so now let us write the class. So I'm saying public class name, we have already thought of a name, which is add cookie servlet. Okay, so add cookie servlet. So this is the name of the Java program. Extends what? Extends HTTP servlet. Extends HTTP servlet. Okay, so inside this we need to override the do post method. So which is public void do post. Okay, so this do post will be taking two parameters. So which is HTTP servlet, okay, request, and take the request object, and then take the HTTP servlet response object, which is res, and then this will throw. Okay, so throws IO exception, comma, servlet exception. Okay, so now within this we'll be writing the logic. So before getting started, so I'll be getting the parameters. So I'll take two string reference variables. So I'm saying first one, I'll be naming it as name. Okay, so string name is equal to. So what is the method that we need to use? So you need to use the method which is get parameter. So get parameter. Okay, so and pass the name of the form element, which is the text field. So what is the name that we have given? The name is equal to name. Okay, so in the same way, I'll be also extracting the password into another string reference variable, which is pwd. Okay, so pwd is equal to request parameter, and the name that I gave to that form element is pwd. So now that I have got both the parameters, now we'll start creating the cookie. To create the cookie, we need to create a reference variable of the cookie class. So I said cookie C is equal to, so new cookie. Okay, so inside this, as I already have told you in the previous video, so we'll be taking in two parameters. The two parameters are, first one is the key value pair, right? So I am naming this parameter as name, and the value is in name. Okay, so the value is in name, so I have taken the name over here. So I also need to create a cookie for the password. So I'm taking one more cookie reference object, and here I will be naming it as password pwd, or you can name it anything, p1 or anything. Okay, so but the value is in pwd here in this particular string. So I have to put that pwd here because it's a key value pair. But I cannot have same name for both the cookies. So I'll be naming the reference variables. I'm naming it as C1 and C2. Okay, so after I create the cookies, I need to add this to the response that is sent back to the client. So to add the response, I'll be using another method, which is res, because I said like add cookie to the response is there in HTTP servlet response interface. So you need to take this res object, okay. On that particular object, you need to apply the cookie, okay, add cookie. And what you need to add, so you need to add the C1 cookie, okay. In the same way, you need to add the second cookie as well, which is the password cookie. So the second cookie name is C2, okay. So I need to pass the reference of the cookie C1 and C2. That's it, friends. Okay, so these two are the steps wherein I have created the cookie for the parameters, and these two are where I have added these cookies to the response. So once I created this, let me actually show some response to the user. So I'll be setting the content type. Okay, so content type to be content type of the response variable, okay, to be text or HTML. So text slash HTML. So I just set the response type. Okay, now I'll be creating the print writer object. So I'll be fetching the print writer. So PW is equal to, so which is res dot get writer. Okay, so which is res dot get writer. Now you can write whatever you want to the user. Okay, so we'll write welcome to my website. So I'll say print ln, and then I'll say welcome, okay, to my website. Okay, and let me give the name of the person so that it will be relevant. Okay, so welcome to my website, and the name of the person is there in this particular name reference variable. So I just have given name. So what will happen is, in case if I give Sudha over here in the text field of the username, so here it will say welcome to my website Sudha. Okay, so I have given the semicolon. Okay, fine. So what we'll do is, this is for the first request, but for the second request, we want this, we want to call another servlet. So I'm calling the other servlet over here. So wherein I am saying pwd dot pw dot print ln. Okay, so I'm calling the servlet from here. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'll take a h3 tag. Okay, because I have set it to be like this, pw.println can have text or HTML. So I'm giving a HTML here. So then I'll say a href is equal to, so I'm calling this servlet. What is the name of the servlet which will fetch the cookie? Is a cookies, get the cookies servlet.java, right? So I have given it in the href. Okay, so close this a tag, and then so I'll say request again. Okay, so request. Okay, so I'll say request again. So I'm calling it once again. So I'm requesting once again. Okay, so I'm closing the anchor tag, and then I'm closing the h3 tag, and put the double quotes. Don't forget to put the double quotes, and in between these double quotes I have given my HTML code. Okay, right. So finally close the pw. Okay, so close. Okay, so I have finished writing my add cookie servlet.java. So let me save this. Okay, so I am saving it in my cookie. Okay, so what is the name of the file? Which is add cookie servlet. Okay, so add cookie servlet.java. Right. So I have saved this. Okay, let me create the get cookie servlet. Okay, so I have opened new file once again. So in here, let me actually copy the code basic template from here, and then we'll make the changes. Okay, so let me copy this into the notepad. Okay, so this is our new one. Fine. Okay, so what is the name of the Java file? It is get, right? So get cookies servlet.java, and then I am taking the get method. Okay, so because by default it's a get method, so I'm taking the get method. And in here, so let me take off all the logic that is there here, and we'll start afresh. Okay, so this is the basic template, and I'm using the do get method, right? So to get the cookies, I already have shown you the get cookies method that is there in HTTP servlet request. Okay, right? So to get that, I need to create a cookie array. So I'm saying cookie and then C is equal to, so I'll say req dot, so what is the method? Which is get cookies. Okay, so this is the method. So what this method will do is, this method will take all the cookies into this particular, or into this particular cookie reference variable, which is C. Okay, so now I will iterate through a loop. Okay, so I'll take a loop. So before taking the loop, I need the print writer. So I'll be taking the print writer. So print writer pw is equal to rs dot get writer. So I have taken the print writer object. Okay, and then I'll also write res dot set content type. Set content type. Okay, so I'll set it to text slash html. Okay, right? So this is get content type. I have set the content type, and then we'll iterate through the loop. Okay, so fine. So now I'll iterate through the loop. So I have taken a for loop, then I'm taking a loop iterating variable, which is I is equal to 0. Then I'm saying I is less than c dot length. Okay, and then which is I plus plus. Okay, so we'll iterate through each and every object. Okay, so here I think two objects will be there, one for the user field and the other one is the password field. So because we created cookies for those two things, so those two objects are now in C. So we need to iterate through that. So I'm taking each and every object. So I'm saying string name is equal to, so I'm using a method which is called as, so I'm iterating through the first object and I'm going to get the name of the first object. Okay, so I'm saying get name. I already have shown you the get name and get value methods that are there in the cookie class. So in the same way, I'm getting the value. So I'm saying string value is equal to C of I dot get value. Okay, so now both the name and the value of the object are there in name and value reference variables. Now I'm going to print this to the client back. Okay, I have read the data from the cookie and I'm showing it to the client back. So then I'll simply print the name. So I'm saying name is equal to, so plus name. Okay, and then I'll say plus, and then I'll give some space, then a plus, and then I'll say value is equal to, so what's the value? So the value is equal to value itself. Okay, so I just have put that. So after closing my loop, I need to close the pw string. Okay, so I said pw dot close. Okay, friends. So now I have written the get cookies servlet.java. Let me save this again. Okay, so on the desktop, so I have my cookies. So inside this, I am saving the file. So what is the name of it? Which is get cookies servlet.java. Okay, so now that I have created both the Java files, let me compile this Java files by going into the command prompt. So I have opened the command prompt, go to the desktop, and what is there in the desktop? My cookie is there. Okay, so once I have gone there, let me compile. So what's the first Java file? Which is add cookie servlet.java. So I have compiled it, so it is showing me some errors. Okay, so let me actually see what is the error. Okay, so it is telling me that there is okay, so since there are double quotes and double quotes here, so it is finding it difficult to understand. So I'll put single quotes. Well, fine. Okay, so now it should work fine for me. So let me get back to the command prompt and let me compile it. Okay, so now it is telling me that, okay, so throws X is capital letter here, so that's why it's saying that it don't know. Okay, so let me give it as small letter. Okay, so exception, save it once again. Okay, go back and recompile it. Okay, fine. So now my dot class file is ready for the add cookie servlet.java. Let me actually compile my get cookies servlet.java. Okay, so again I had the problem because I copied the code from add servlet. Okay, so let me open this Java file. Okay, so let me make this X to be small letter. Okay, so anything else it is showing me. Okay, okay, for type I think Y is capital letter, so here content type, so this Y need to be small letter. Okay, so these are the two things that it has shown me. Now I have rectified it, corrected it. Okay, so let me actually recompile it once again. Okay, right. So you can see that the dot class file for get cookie servlet.java is now ready. So both my servlets are ready. You can see the dot class files here. Okay, so now the servlets are ready and the .html file is ready. So now let us create your web.xml. Again, let me open the notepad. Okay, and let me create the web.xml. Okay, well friends, I already have created, so in my previous videos I showed you how to create this web.xml. I just created in that manner. So we have web app here, so I just close this here. So and then I'll be having the servlet tag. Okay, so inside the servlet I'll be having the servlet name and the servlet class. So I have put this add cookie servlet and add cookie servlet class here. And since I have one more servlet, okay, so which is get cookie servlet, so I have put that here in the name and the class. And coming to the mapping, I did the mapping here. Okay, so servlet name and the URL pattern. And then again I have given the mapping for the second servlet, okay, wherein slash get cookie servlet. And then here I have given the welcome file list, wherein the .html file is given in the welcome file tag. Okay, right. So let me save this, save as. Okay, go to the my cookie folder, and then I am saying it as saving it as web.xml. Okay, friends, all our files are ready now. So let me organize them properly. Okay, so inside my folder, I'm creating another folder, so which is web inf folder. So web inf folder I have created. Okay, so inside this web inf, I'll be creating one more folder. So let me create one more folder, which is classes folder. Okay, so inside this classes folder, I'll be putting all these 4 files. Okay, and inside this class folders, I have kept all these 2 Java files and 2 class files. And now these classes, I'll keep it in the web inf. So I kept these classes in web inf, and this web.xml I'll take it into web inf. Okay, so now our directory is ready. Okay, So this is our cookie. Inside this we have web.inf and then your .html file. Inside this you have classes web, and then inside this you have this .class files and all that. So now what I'll do is I'll take this, I'll cut this and go to the Tomcat. Okay, so this PC, C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat, and then go to web apps and paste it here. Okay, so I paste my cookie over here. So after pasting, what I'll do is I'll go into the bin and start this bat file. Okay, so which is startup. So I'll just click on this startup and your Tomcat will start. Okay, so once your Tomcat started, go to the browser. So this is the browser. So type in HTTP localhost, right? So I'll be saying localhost, okay, :4040 and hit on enter. Okay, so Tomcat is running fine. So what I'll do is now I'll type in the folder where your work is. Okay, so this is the login form. So let me give a name over here. So I'm saying it is Shika. And coming to the password, okay, so give some password. So I'm saying it is flying spaghetti. Okay, so this is the password. So now let me click on the submit button. As I click on the submit button, so this is the servlet. So it is saying welcome to my website Shika. Okay, right, and then it said welcome to my website Shika. So this is the name that we have given in the text field for the username. So now if I click on request again, so this request will take you to the get cookie servlet.java file, and there what will happen is that Java file will open the cookie or fetch the data that is there in the cookie, and it will display for me here. So let me hit on this particular request again. So as I hit on this, you can see that name is equal to name. So this is what is there in the object, right? So cookie. So this is the first cookie. Okay, so this is the first cookie, and this is what is written when I said get name, and this is what is written get value for this particular first cookie. Okay, so the name is name and then value is equal to Shika. So this name over here is the name that I have given in the HTML document. So in the HTML document, I have given the name of that particular field. Let me open the HTML document and show you. Okay, so this is your HTML one, right? Okay, so let me open this in Notepad. Okay, so you can see that I have given the name of this particular input type to be name, and then for the password I have given it as PWD. So the name that I got there is this one. Okay, fine. So now coming to this is the second cookie and cookie object, and name is equal to PWD. So PWD is the one that I have given as the element name in the form HTML form, and then the value is equal to the value that I have typed there. Okay, so which is flying spaghetti. Okay, right. So this is how you create cookies, and this is how you fetch the cookies data that is there in the cookies. Well, friends, I will be now showing you what will happen if you are not making a cookie. Okay, so I just have made a little modifications to the Java programs. So first I will show you the add cookie servlet.java. So just compare it with the previous program that I have shown you. So in here, I have simply taken out the creation of the cookie and then adding the cookie to the response object. Okay, so that's what I have done here. Rest, I have taken the parameters, both the parameters, then I have set the response type to be text or HTML. I have created the print writer object, and then I simply have written welcome to my website, and I have given the name here. And then I made a call to this particular get cookie servlet.java, and then I closed it, wherein in this particular program, I have not created any cookie. Okay, so I didn't created any cookie in this particular program. Okay, fine. So this is my add cookie servlet .java. Let me show you what modifications I did in the get cookie servlet. Okay, so let me open this get cookie servlet. So in this program, what I did is I simply have created the object of the print writer. Then I have set the content type of it to be text and HTML. Then I have tried to get the parameter of this particular name attribute. Okay, and then I have named the user field to be name, right? I try to get the value of it by this particular statement, and then I took the value and I have said welcome back to my website. So because this is the second time that the user wants to get into the website, so that's the reason why I said welcome back to my website, and then I said I'm trying to give the name over here. So this is my get cookies servlet. So I didn't do any, I have not iterated or created, I have not fetched the cookies because the cookies are not created at all. Okay, here we need to understand that once the user is trying to make another request, what will happen? Okay, so that request will be a new request and it will be a new connection on a whole thing. Okay, so the server will not know anything about the a customer. It will not remember the information regarding the client. Okay, so that's what I want to demonstrate over here. So this thing I have put in a folder. Okay, and I have deployed it in the Tomcat. Okay, so and the name of the folder is without cookie. I just changed it. Okay, I started Tomcat. So this is my Tomcat, and let me go to the folder. Okay, so what's the folder? So it is without cookie. Okay, so let me try to give a login name. So I have given the login name to be, so let me give some other name. Okay, so which is, so I'm saying it is Ricky. Okay, and the password I'll be giving it as a Blossom. Okay, so I gave the password to be Blossom, and let me click on submit. So as I click on submit, so this is the first time the user is coming to the website. So I said, welcome to my website, Ricky. Okay, so once again, if the user is making any request, so this is request again. So as I click on request again, you can see that welcome back to my website, but the name is not known here. So it is saying, it is giving me a null. Okay, so the name is not known here. So it won't be knowing that whether this is the old client or the new client. Nothing it will be knowing. It will just view each and every request to be a new connection. So that's the reason, even if I have written inside my get cookies, let me show you that program. Inside this get cookies servlet program, I have written, okay, so I have written get parameters, and I want to get the value of this particular parameter named name, but still I didn't get it. Okay, so why I didn't get it is because the cookies are not set. So if you're having cookies, the authentication or the details that you give will persist across the entire session. Okay, till you log out or till you sign out, your details will persist in multiple requests. I hope everybody understood this concept. So thank you for watching.